And this animated clip on TikTok was way better than the real life Adrian Brody speech, I'll tell you that.
Turn the music off. I've done this before. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Gabrielle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The Oscars were this past Sunday, and every year me and my mom talk about how we're going to watch all the nominees so we can predict who we think is going to win each category. Now, I really did want to do that. A lot of the movies were very serious, and I was not in the mood for serious movies, hence why I watched Wicked about 7-8 times and expected it to win Best Picture. Instead, I wanted to talk about the Best Animated Movie category, because animation, I can talk about animation. I love animated movies, so let's get into it. This year's Best Animated Feature Films nominated were Inside Out 2, Flow, The Wild Robot, Memoir of a Snail, and Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. Originally, I wanted Inside Out 2 to win, and I assumed it was going to win because power of the mouse. But then I saw Flow, and it changed my opinion, and man, am I glad that Flow won. And not just because how cute this guy is. I'm going to go ahead and issue a disclaimer right here. This is not to discredit or negate any of the work that the other teams did for their movies. All of those films were great, and everyone on those 5 production teams are winners for creating what they did. This is my opinion, and this is just how I see the Best Animated Feature category. Moving on to talk about Flow. Flow is a movie about a cat who seemed to be doing all nice and dandy until a flood comes up and ruins their home. Cat jumps onto a refugee boat with other animals of different species, and they learn to work together despite their differences. By Flow winning, they are bringing home a couple firsts with this award. It is the first independent film to win animated feature, and it is the first Oscar for the country of Latvia, which, in case you were wondering, it is right here on the map. Independent films have been nominated in this category but never won. This category is pretty much dominated by both the Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pixar Animation. So, the mouse. At one point, Disney had this award on lock consecutively for 6 years from 2003 to 2018, which I can't blame them because those movies were bangers year after year after year after year. Now, it's kind of assumed that Disney's going to win each year because Disney's the big dog. And while I don't want to downplay the impact of winning an Oscar, but this just would have been another award on the shelf for them. Flow winning this award has changed their team's lives and has made history for their country. For an indie movie to beat out both Disney and DreamWorks is a huge deal. Something that I think is the coolest thing about this movie Flow is that they created this movie in a free software called Blender, who they even thanked in their speech. Anyone can pick up and learn Blender. That's another aspect of how big of a deal this is, because it shows you don't have to have Disney money, Disney influence, or Disney resources to make a great, amazing piece of art that goes on to become an Oscar-winning movie. Another thing is that this movie had no dialogue, no narrator, no captions. It was purely sound and environmental storytelling, which felt like a breath of fresh air. They managed to tell a story and captivate an audience through the environment and the characters alone. No story or message was being shoved down your throat. It was up to your own interpretation of how it was going, how it ended, and what each character meant. And the movie is so gorgeous, guys. It literally looks like a video game. It reminded me of the one video game I think that came out either last year or the year before. It was called Stray, and it was basically a post-apocalyptic It was basically a world after an apocalypse. It was a cat exploring a world after an apocalypse, and it was really pretty. And it's completely different themes within both Flow and Stray, but it just reminds me of that. And I love that we're making cats front and center now. I didn't really want to talk about the plot of this movie in this video because I didn't want to spoil it for others who were planning on watching it or considering watching it. If so, this is your sign to watch the movie. And this is my biggest point here. But usually with movies involving animals, things can get really cringe really fast. Every animal movie you've seen has had a talking animal, whether it be from Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, or Studio Ghibli. There's been a talking animal. They give these animals a personality, a human personality, and sometimes it's funny. Like in The Secret of Pets, it was very true to the cat being like a cat but still having a sassiness of a human, or a dog still being a dog but still having like the adventureness of a human, I guess. And sometimes it doesn't work. My point is that these directors and writers could have given these animals human personalities, but they didn't. They chose to let them have their natural instincts, their natural survival instincts, and just made them smart animals. As you can see, there's various points in the movie where different animals are using the steer stick of the boat A regular cat can't do that. So they made them smart animals and said these guys are going on an adventure, which in my opinion I think is really cool, because after watching so many different versions of Zootopia and talking sassy animal movies, this was just really cool to see animals be animals. Again, all of these movies in this category were great, but I hope that Flo winning means that there's a creative shift happening in the animation world. We kind of saw a little bit in 2019 when Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse beat out two Disney movies, being Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet and Incredibles 2 for Best Animated Feature. But I really want more independent animated films to start winning and gaining recognition for the work they put out. Over the past couple years, Disney has been under fire for the constant remakes and dragged out sequels. I'm so sorry, but we don't need a Toy Story 6 or a Frozen 5. Hopefully with Flo winning and then The Boy and the Heron winning last year has them realizing that they might not be the big dogs anymore and that companies might be on their tail. Because ultimately at its core, creativity is what truly matters. Disney thinks that they're going to win Oscars now just because they are Disney and not necessarily because of its storytelling. In reality, it's really the storytelling, the passion, the dedication, the heart that goes into the work. And the voters can see that, so then they award them with an Oscar. Anyone who commits to their craft and believes in their vision has the chance to get on stage and say, I'd like to thank the Academy. I just hope more people are able to be recognized in their work going forward. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think about this year's Best Animated category. See you guys in the next one. Bye!